Hi there, it's Asia. For today's video, I ask those of you who recently took the IELTS exam to share your speaking part 2 topics. Then I asked you to vote for the topic that seemed most difficult on our Telegram channel. So here are the results. The most challenging topic is to describe a situation when you paid more than you anticipated or expected. So I've prepared a model answer and some vocabulary that can help you elevate your answer, which you can also download. Let's talk about several things you should do in part 2 first, and then we'll have a look at the answer. Let's get started. First of all, here is the full task. Describe a situation when you paid more than you expected. You should say what the situation was, what you paid for, what you expected to pay, and how you felt after. IELTS examiners assess how well you can communicate in English, but they also look for certain indicators of your level. So let's talk about some of the things that can help you increase your score. First of all, you should choose the right tense. All these situations are in the past, so you will need to use the past tense. If you mix different forms of the past, simple, continuous, and perfect, then you will increase your band score. The first point, what the situation was, asks you to describe the background events, and here you can use a more complex structure like the past continuous. For example, I was walking around my local market when, or we were on holiday staying in New York and. The third point, what you expected to pay, refers to the time before you paid, so you can show off your grammatical range by using the past perfect or the past perfect continuous. I'd thought it would cost about, or I'd been thinking about buying this for a while. This is the past perfect continuous. To sound natural, shorten had to d, I'd. Then stress the main verb and not the auxiliary been. Not I had been thinking, but I'd been thinking. I'd been thinking. Can you hear the difference? I'd been thinking about buying this for a while. In this sentence, I only stress 3 words: thinking, buying, and while. In your answer, you should link your sentences. Perhaps not all, but many Part 2 speaking questions can be in the form of a narrative or story. There are different ways to expand your answer, which we discuss in depth in my courses, but telling a story is definitely a great way to give a long and coherent answer. To increase your band score, you should use linking words to make your story flow smoothly. First of all, next, then, after that, I ended up, and finally are all simple expressions that will make your speaking flow. For example, first of all, I needed a new laptop because mine was terribly slow. Then I went to the store where I'd seen it advertised earlier. I had seen it earlier is the past perfect tense, which shows that something happened before a certain moment in the past, before I went to the store. I ended up buying the expensive model. To end up buying shows the result. You should also give examples. Some phrases to give examples are, for example, for instance, to give you an idea. I'd seen them advertised much cheaper, $400 for example. Or, when I thought about buying a new laptop, I thought about something mid-range, for instance, around $400. I was shocked. To give you an idea, it was $800 and not $400 as I expected. You should also give reasons. Phrases that give reasons are because, therefore, and hence. Here are some sentences. Because my laptop was extremely slow, I decided to buy a new one. I'd heard that this store was excellent value. Therefore, I expected something cheaper. It was $400 more than I expected, hence my surprise. Another thing you can do in your answer is give results. Phrases that give results are so, as a result, to end up. Some examples are I didn't have any other option, so I paid the extra money. The old laptop was slow and as a result, it was affecting my work. I ended up paying much more than I initially expected. You can also make contrasts. We can add to what we're saying by using contrast words, although, despite, but, however, and nonetheless. Although my Toshiba was 8 years old, it worked fine. Despite the high price, I thought the extra functions would be worth it. It cost me twice what I expected. However, it was worth it. You can also add emphasis. Changing your sentences to add emphasis also shows that you can be flexible and that you can use complex English structures. Look at these sentences. I really needed a new laptop. I didn't expect it to be so expensive. When I used it, I stopped feeling so upset. With a slight change in the grammar and by adding some expressions used for emphasizing, we can lift these sentences to a higher level. What I really needed was a new laptop. Not for a moment did I expect it to be so expensive. It wasn't until I used it that I stopped feeling so upset. Okay. Now, let me show you my model answer and then we'll talk about some vocabulary you could use to talk about this topic. Here is the answer. I'm going to tell you about the time when I had to buy a new laptop and ended up paying well over the odds. I'd been working on a project for a client in Canada using a really old laptop that I'd had for ages. Anyway, the old one was slow and just about to pack up, so I decided that what I needed was a new one. I saw this nice new Lenovo online. It was the big screen that I really liked, and because I was working on several documents at the same time, I thought it would have been perfect. It also had a large battery that was advertised to last for at least 9 hours or a full day. That meant that I could take my laptop and work from a coffee shop without carrying the charger around or looking for a plug. At $400, it looked like a bargain. So I went to the site where I'd seen it. However, it turned out that the one for $400 was part of a deal, and that you also had to sign up for their broadband package, which was $70 a month. I thought that was a complete ripoff, as I was only paying $20 for my broadband. I'd set my heart on the laptop with a big screen, so I searched up and down, but the only one I could find was twice the price and came in at $800. So after a week of humming and hawing, I decided to put my hand in my pocket and go for it. I felt a bit guilty at the time, but all in all, I'm glad that I went for the expensive model. It's fast and easy to use, and although it's big, it's light and I can carry it around easily. If you ask me, you only get what you pay for. Now let's have a look at the vocabulary in this answer. To end up, this means to find yourself at the end of a process. I ended up paying more. To pay well over the odds. This means to pay more than usual or more than expected. That's a perfect idiom for this topic. To have something for ages. This means to own something for a long time. To pack up is a phrasal verb. It means to stop working. My laptop was about to pack up. A bargain. That's when you can buy something for less than the usual price. What a bargain! To turn out is an informal phrasal verb which means to be discovered or to be proven. I didn't believe it, but it turned out to be true. Or it turned out to be a bad deal. To be part of a deal, to be sold at a lower price with certain conditions. In our example, with a condition to take very expensive broadband. A complete rip-off. That's when something is sold well above its value, or when they want too much money. To set one's heart on something. This means to decide that you want something very much. I set my heart on that red BMW. To search up and down is to look everywhere. To come in at $800. This means to cost. To hum and haw is to be hesitant or unable to decide. I hummed and hawed for weeks before making the decision. To put one's hand in their pocket. This means to spend your money. I put my hand in my pocket and bought it. To go for means to choose. Just go for it. All in all, taking everything into account. To only get what you pay for. This means that the price you pay reflects the quality of what you buy. Why are you complaining? You've got what you paid for. This answer is quite informal and uses a lot of informal phrases and quite a lot of idioms and expressions. You don't have to use quite as many idioms in IELTS speaking, and whatever you use, make sure it sounds natural. Okay, if you'd like to save this model answer and vocabulary, you can do that by going to our Telegram channel. The link to the post is in the video description box below. And please note that if you don't have Telegram on your phone, then when you click the link, you'll be taken to the App Store to install it first, and then you have to click on the link again to get to the PDF document. And don't forget to check out our courses that can help you prepare for your exam in less time, with less stress, and achieve a higher score. Thank you so much for watching me today. Good luck with your preparation and your exam.